Hi, thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel, Reverend MeeLing. I've been known by a few names. Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle, and then variations of, and just, I've been known by quite a few names. That's just been how it's been. So, there's this, I was having a discussion on the phone earlier today with a guy, and he brought up a particular cartoon or comic. Please do not be offended, people who are into comic book stuff. They look like cartoons to me. I'm not being rude. Please, I just feel this. There's a term, and I don't know what it is. I apologize. Please don't be mad at me that are into, like, whoo, it got a little warm. And I know it's not cartoons. I just don't know what it's called. Please don't be mad at me. Okay, so there is a discussion. Oh, ow. So there's this discussion in reference to comics. And there was this guy. I had actually contacted well, there's two guys, and so and I don't mean just in the East Coast term, they're actually males, so it's a thing. And so speaking with this guy about these two guys, and they're from New Jersey, so they very much like on that. And then, they could very much easily say, most likely, hypothetically, the words that have come out of my mouth in comparison to people from New Jersey. Just so pretty. So pretty. So there are these guys, if there are those of you, I have a feeling already, there are some who know the Jay and Silent Bob guys. And so there was this one time I had I'd contacted their they had a show, maybe they still have it, where they talk about comic stuff. And not comic as in comedian, but comic as in the pictures and that look like cartoons, but are not cartoons. And so, I was only allowed to read Betty and Veronica and Archie. And those, they're not the same. Not the same. The ones that I wanted to read did not look like that, but had colors like that. And more detail by a lot. And looked so much more interesting. But they were out of my age range. So I wasn't allowed to look at them or read them. Nonetheless, so I was talking with this guy about those guys, and I sent an email and I got a call back in reference to being interested to go out to New Jersey. So as I was telling this guy today on the phone about those guys, yeah, this is the East Coast discussion. And so these guys. And so I had contacted them, and I was like, yeah, I thought it'd be really cool to be able to see possibly, the East Coast where I grew up, show that my son, albeit wanting to show both my son and my daughter, but with the situation at the time that was going on. And I didn't fully understand obviously the premise of the show. My mistake, I apologize. And so I had remembered that there was a guy that I had, and this was actually not just an East Coast guy, but a male that I knew when growing up in New Jersey. We had gone to Asher Holmes Elementary School together. And one day he was drawing somebody, or a cartoon, essentially, or a comic. I don't know. Please don't be mad at me, but he was drawing, and it was the hair was spiky, and had big eyes, and something about cows. And I had seen him drawing it. His name's Ian Ginsberg. And I looked at him like, so you're going to do that when you grow up. And he looked at me and he was like, whatever. I'm like, no, you're going to do that. Not that, but you're going to do that just in a different way, in your own way. And he was just, whatever, Susan. Oh my God. Well, you know, whatever. Fine. I'll just go sit over here. It was like second grade or something like that. Maybe first. No, I think it was second grade because of the type of desks. Anyway, or tables, I should say. Anyway, so I had brought that up as the idea. And the female I spoke with on the phone, she was like, "Oh, we don't really do stuff like that." I'm like, "Okay, well, I apologize for you know, not understanding. I apologize for misreading or miscomprehending, or however you want to put it." And she was a very sweet female that I spoke with. Nonetheless, the guy that I spoke with on the phone today, which, by the way, today is the 23rd of June, 2020, he had brought up something about, apparently, the Jay and Silent Bob guys are from a movie or something. And he had explained to me how one of the guys, I'm going to guesstimate Silent Bob, is the one that just kind of didn't say anything but maybe a couple of words, which I told the guy on the phone. I said, it's actually funny. I used to tell people this joke when I was a kid growing up in New Jersey, where the joke essentially was, there's a guy, he goes to a monastery, and he's only allowed to speak 2 words in 10 years. So after each 10 year, he's brought into the head monastery office, and, you know, what do you got to say? You got 2 words. And so the first 10 years goes by, and the guy walks into the head of the monastery and is asked, you know, what are your 2 words? He says something along like rough sleep. And then, okay, out. And then 10 years go by, and goes back to the head of the monastery, and what are your 2 words? Bad food. And then 10 years go by, and the monk goes to the head of the monastery and says, what are your 2 words? And the guy goes, I quit. And so just that reminded me of that particular explanation, and whether or not that's similar in certain regards, just one of those, okay. But I did contact, that'd be me, hi. Because I had thought that it would be cool, you know, meeting Ian and possibly others. I thought that that would be really cool. In reference to where I grew up in New Jersey. I actually made a post on Facebook a little bit ago in reference to it'd be pretty awesome to get people from elementary school, which if there were those who had actually remembered what was going on in 1993 when that happened, and then have kind of like a sit down sort of thing, but not in like an East Coast sit down way, just, you know, everybody kind of round table discussion sort of thing, and then just instead of a high school reunion, you know, like an elementary school reunion sort of thing. Since there's so many people who have been into like, oh, we're going to do a graduation for kindergarten. And sort of thing. And I thought that that would be a pretty cool idea in that reference, you know, because a lot of the people that I grew up with, I mean, there's what's his face? Well, there's Ian, who wound up actually getting into that artwork. And then there's Paul, and Paul apparently got into acting as well as directing, which that's pretty cool. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Erin had gotten into magazines and editorial stuff, and just a bunch of different people doing all sorts of different things. And I thought that'd be pretty cool for, you know, that sort of stuff. For that TV stuff. And despite the fact I can't watch. And but it'd be kind of interesting to have that, and then as more of an educational aspect where, you know, people could come together and the various, whoever could, and just discuss the different phases of what we had remembered and varying aspects of not just childhood but into adulthood, and bringing forward, you know, these are the different things, and this is what got better, this was helpful, this was this, and give a more inspirational viewpoint while, you know, discussing whatever as far as different stuff that I most likely couldn't remember, but maybe they could, and that East Coast sort of thing. And so I thought that was interesting. Anyway, so I had contacted the Jay and Silent Bob guys, which is kind of interesting because I had not been allowed to read comic books. And it wasn't until recently that I realized, when looking at my modeling, that there's a couple of characters in comic books that, you know, my version of, had no idea. I thought I was all original. I had no idea that, you know, there were certain things, you know, for example, when I had an outfit on that looked like spiders, I thought it was just, hey, I had a subarachnoid hemorrhage at the frontal lobe of my brain. This be funny. Look. Apparently there's a Spider-Man. So I'd say who knew, probably people into comic books would probably know that. By a lot in comparison. Or, you know, I had a bat outfit. I was like, oh, you know. Why not? I had no idea. Ta-da. And so, continuing on in that regard, yeah, I'm that person. So, which is kind of funny in an odd, twisted sort of way. In that regard, like, hey, I had no idea what's going on. Though I have a feeling that was probably figured out. have a feeling that at some point somebody was like, she has no clue at all whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. Probably, most likely, ironically, somebody from Illinois that it's like a big brother to me, and irony of being in the Navy and stuff like that. Yeah, just landed at the bottom of the ocean, that's all. And surfaced, whatever. Yeah, who hasn't done that? And a couple of people. Okay, everybody but me. Apparently the only one. Hey. Nonetheless, so yeah, I'm that person. So, it'd be funny if wait, who? Yeah, she did this. Oh, do you, calling up Ian, being like, do you remember this, like, whatever? Yeah, she's, well, do you know what she looks like now? No? Hi. What's going on? And stuff. And so... So I told that guy about that particular, oh yeah, I'll do that. And it'd be cool, but it'd be funny in certain ways if, irony of ironies, they were like, well, let's research who she is. Oh, because my modeling name, Lady Dori, Belle, I'm pull up a couple outfits that I wore and stuff. She has no idea. She was like, because who knows? Like what I'm wearing right now could probably, I don't know. I have no idea. Some character or whatever. I have no clue. Anyway, because I wasn't allowed to read that when I was growing up as a child. So, it would be funny though if they were like, well, let's look. It's like a lot of corsets. a lot of corsets. Or well, I guess technically like this because the mouse thing, right? Instead of this, and so. And then that whole like it being New Jersey aspect and stuff like that, and that whole thing in reference to that time. However, yeah, discussed that, and I thought about that and thought it would be interesting if it was one of those. We'll get her. What do you mean? Who could have known that? Why did it, I don't know. So, but that was kind of a thought. It'd be interesting because, I mean, I obviously I don't look like I did in elementary school, that's for certain. Although there was a time where I was being so rebellious, which is kind of funny because I had been told that having my hairstyle and hair color like this in the state of Texas, that meant I was so rebellious to people. It's like, if you only knew. Because back in the day, back when I was in elementary school, my biological mother sent me to school in this dress, and I'm not really that girly. I'm far more tomboyish than I am girly. I mean, I can do the feminine thing. I can, ish. And Though, you know, as feminine as I can be. And so my biological mother sent me to school in this purple with like white and girl looking clothes. And because, you know, I'm born a female. And I didn't want to wear it. I didn't want to wear it at all. I did not like wearing dresses. And by the way, that particular dress is similar to what my biological mother would send me to the Amco gas station with my biological father and then be upset that somehow it got dirty with oil by going to a garage and gas station in the 1980s and early 1990s. And it's a white and light purple dress. So there are guys who know what I'm talking about why would you do that? You're just setting her up for failure in that one, especially with the fact that I like cars a lot. And oh, let me see that hose. Whoops. I'm gonna just take a shower. Whoopsies. Now I don't have, you know, a white colored outfit, and you know, yeah, I'm gonna meet some wooden spoons when I get back to the house. You know, well, technically the wooden spoons are gonna be introduced to me. Nonetheless, I won't have to wear this dress again. However, my rebellion was actually back in elementary school. I had taken one of those little My Little Pony clip-on things that had the My Little Pony tail in a different color. That was my biological sister's. And right before pictures, I put that in my hair, whichever side I did it in. It's like, yeah, that's right. I had the biggest smile on my face. I was like, I'm gonna be beaten. It's gonna be so worth it. Cause yeah, that's right. Cause at that time they didn't allow do-overs. they didn't let you go into school and have a retake. So I had my natural dark brown chocolate color hair and then this streak, whichever side it was, in bright lavender. It did match the outfit though. It did. It matched ideally. And I had the biggest smile on my face. Yeah, that's right. I know I'm gonna meet a whole bunch of wooden spoons. I don't care. That was actually rebellious. At that point in time, yes, knowing what I was going to deal with when getting those pictures, yes. Yeah, getting those, I knew that I was going to be beaten. Did not care. That was being rebellious. This, my hair is shorter. Yeah, it's brighter. Though technically lavender in the sunlight compared to red, I don't know which one's brighter. Nonetheless, a lot more by technicalities because my hair was longer. And so, yeah, that was that's right. I'm so rebellious right now. And then like a year or two later, it became a thing where people started having blonde streaks in their hair. Became a fashion trend or whatever. And like, can I do that? No. Oh, it's so cool. I still got that picture though. Although that'd be funny if there was a comic book character that had a streak of like really light hair compared to the rest being really dark. I have no idea. I wasn't allowed to read that. That was too big for me when I was growing up. I wasn't allowed. So I was so proud of myself then. You want to talk about rebellious? That was rebellious. I'll give you another rebellion that I did. Watching Sailor Moon. I had to sneak down the stairs. And those who have ever been in the house in New Jersey before it, went through, the stair, or any house that was built in the 1940s, those wooden stairs that no matter where you walk on, you hear, ah! Yeah, it don't matter. There's nowhere you can step on those stairs without hearing that. Yeah, no, that was the house that I grew up in. And so in order to sneak down the stairs, I had to put my hands on each side of the wall and just crawl down and have my feet against the wall, and just ninja my way down. And then I had to do that upward when, Sailor Moon was over. That was that was me being rebellious as a child, though not really, because I was going to see Sailor Moon. I don't know if that's really considered rebellious, although it being at 3:30 in the morning, it's kind of a little rebellious. But yeah, so, I contacted those guys. So hi. I'd say what's up, but right now that would be the ceiling and the lights and the roof and the sky. And the universe and the stars. And since I'm in the state of Texas, then that technically would be the rest of the United States of America and Canada and Antarctica and the North Pole and some ocean too. And nonetheless, yeah, I'm the person who had asked about that. And it would be funny if at some point they were like, well, she has a website? Well, what is her website? So yeah, so that's me. And so, that'd be really cool though to be able to be like, hi. I do remember those areas though, so some of the people in the state of Texas who told me that they grew up in the hood. I know that there are some guys in the state of Texas that grew up in New Jersey that could very much be like, inside the loop of 410 you can say, hood? That's irony. Where one particular guy lives. And it's not a hood there. It's just near the hood. Fort. And that guy could probably give a few examples in reference. You want to see hood. So a few locations. Like he probably would know the different areas I was walking around in, especially in the 1980s and 1990s, and be able to be like, yeah, that is actually hood. Inside the loop of 410, Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., that is not hood. No. Not at all. And, yeah, so I just thought I'd do a quick little on that. And so I apologize if I called it the wrong name as far as the pictures in a book with colors and words. Might not be comics, I don't know. I could be wrong, I don't know. So I just but yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. As big and stuff. So yeah. Probably sounds a little dumb, but yeah, hi. I would guesstimate if people that I grew up with in New Jersey were shown a whole bunch of pictures and, okay, which one do you think is that one? This would not be the picture that they pick. I can see her face-ish. That's what she turned into? Well, didn't see that coming. Though, in reference to that one little streak of hair. I was so rebellious. I got so beaten for that. I was so proud to bring that to the house, though. I was just looking at it, I was like, yeah, that's right, look at my hair. That's right. Yeah. I got beat. So badly. I broke so many wooden spoons. Technically. When they got introduced to me through my biological mother's hand. Yeah. I messed those spoons up. I guess by technicalities, I showed those spoons who was boss. I can make fun of that now. That time, that was not so funny. At all. Nonetheless, you guys have a good one. And comment and like and share and subscribe to my official YouTube channel.